Hello crafting friends, welcome to my lounge room. Welcome to my podcast for this week. My name is Barbara Radzevicius and this is Bondi Knit and Quilt. This week I've been very busy quilting and knitting. So hopefully the content will be of interest. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. I'm getting really into comments and getting connected with you all, and I really love reading comments, so thank you. So in this week I've made 2 baby quilts. They're not quilted yet, but they're up to the quilting stage. I have videoed the process that I go through with making small quilts, and also I've done some knitting. So I knitted myself a pair of socks out of this beautiful wool. I love them. It's self-striping yarn, and I wanted them to be very similar because the stripes are so lovely. So usually I don't mind because I want to get the max out of my ball of wool, but this time I just wound a bit more so that it started in a similar place to the first one. And I think the stripes are pretty close, although I have noticed there is some slight difference. But these are vanilla socks. I love them. I love this pattern. It is just me. So, and I got the original video from Kay Linton. Thank you so much, Kay. It's got, these are cuffed down. So I've done 2x2 rib, my favorite, then heel flap and gusset. I love this gusset. I no longer get holes here because I found out that if I put the stitch in the right place and I give it a tug, I no longer get holes. And the toe is super easy. So, you know, it's one of those toes where you just have a center stitch at each side of the stitch marker. Have a stitch and then 2 off, and then just a knit row. And I do that, and then casting off, I can't do kitchen or any of those fancy things. So usually I just take my needle and stitch the last 8 stitches together off the 2 needles. So I hold the 2 needles together and cast them off. But yeah, this is my socks. So let's get into the sock videos that I made, and then we'll have a look at the quilt making. I'm making a pair of socks from this lovely wool. I haven't got the label with me at the moment, but I will put a photo in. But it is so exciting. I think it's called Holiday, the colourway. But isn't it lovely? And I just needed to make a pair of socks because I haven't made any for ages on these little tiny twigs. They're 2.5 millimetre little tiny sticks, and I'm up to the heel. Just started it, and I like to knit the heel on a separate needle just so that it gives me a bit more space. But the colours in this are beautiful, and I really like self-patterning yarn because it's such a surprise. You just don't want to stop knitting. I think they're beautiful. Would make a nice hat too, or mittens. Just lovely colours. I've just finished my Mindfulness Shawl. It is lovely. I've done little piquets, something I've never done before. I've used 2 skeins of Buche la Buche. I know that's not how to say it, but that's how it is. And it's in colour orange, browny orange, fingering weight 2 altogether. Just had enough for this, and I had about that much left. I love it. It's by, the pattern is by, let me check, Shawls. I think it's Shawls. It's a lovely pattern. I love it. I think I'll make a few more. Last night when I finished knitting my Mindfulness Shawl, I decided to cast on and make another one, and I finished this one in a night. It was so fast. I used 5mm needles and this Amigo Melange by Hobby, 100% acrylic. I've got 2 of these green and whites, and I made this shawl out of 2 blue and whites with some purple. The colour is 03, but it is beautiful. And I'm making this one as a gift. So, and this is how the piqué looks on the edge. Isn't that beautiful? I really like it. I've never cast off like this before. And the other edge also is beautiful with the 2. Slip 1, knit 2 together. Then knit 1, knit. Yes, you know how it goes. The pattern is beautiful. So this pattern I really recommend as a fast knit. And so easy and so beautiful. I hope my friend likes it. It's for her birthday. John's been crocheting, and he made me a Sophie inspired crocheted scarf in black and white. It's in the Rocky Mountains series of national parks from America, and I bought 2 skeins of their beautiful national parks inspired yarns, and the one that he made me is called Smoky Mountains. It is lovely. He also made me a shawl that goes over your shoulders. I'd probably put it in a couple of photos of that too. This is a stitch that he's used. He said it is a single crochet. So he's very new to crocheting, and I'm not sure what it was, but you can see that that's the stitch that he's used, and he was using a 4mm needle, so with sock yarn. It's pretty dense fabric that's produced. It's lovely yarn. It's got all different flecks of colour in it. He didn't have a pattern. He just stretched out one of my Sophie scarves and made it fit. They're very creative. The stitches are all very neat. He liked doing it. So, and still has wool left over, but I think I might use that for something else. This is how John's version of the Sophie scarf looks on me. It's crocheted. It's beautiful. What do we think of crocheting? John's very new to it. thought he would just lay my Sophie scarf out and give it a go. I love it. I love the colours also. Perfect. I just have to block it now and it'll be ready to wear. It's so beautiful, this lace pattern. It's a lovely, lovely design. I don't know how you would say that. Diantolina. Sounds Italian. It's a lovely pattern. I did buy a PDF this week, a pattern, knitting pattern, and it's for a scarf, and it's called School Days. And I just need, you know, something to knit. I finished the socks, and I thought I would really like a long scarf just to see how it keep my fingers busy, really. I haven't decided on the yarn that I'll use, but I definitely will use two contrasting colours. I'm thinking maybe a black or a darkish colour and maybe green. A mossy, lightish green, like the moss that grows around the edge of the moss pile. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to making a school scarf for myself. Regressing. No. I just think it's lovely. And you know, my granddaughter Audie might like it. I hope she doesn't kidnap it, but she might. We'll see how she goes. I'll have her modelling it, hopefully. When I've finished, when I've started. I can't wait to start. Last night as I was putting the binding on my baby boy quilt, I decided to sew up the rectangles for my baby girl quilt. I've cut out enough for 2 quilts, but this is the one that I'm going to work on because I need 2 quilts, really, I do. So this is a girl quilt. It is so beautiful. Just fabrics from Stash. So I'm going through my fabrics and my bindings. I've got a container of bindings, and when I run out of a piece, I just add a different piece on, which is keeping with the theme of the garden. I thought a garden would be beautiful for a little girl, and or even, you know, somebody in a nursing home that needs a lap quilt. This is a perfect hug that I make for, you know, gifts. So I call my gifts mitzvah quilts. They are gifts of loving kindness, a hug. And so it's really important to me that I'm able to make something with my hands, you know, that people appreciate and it looks lovely, and it could be a keepsake or it could just be a very nice utility rug for the pram or for the lap. And I just think it's so great that we can do these crafts. I'm so lucky, and so lucky to have fabric. I love my fabric. So this quilt is the same size as the baby boy quilt. It is 1 meter 2, so 1.25 by 1.25 square. So it's just the right size for ordinary fabric, ordinary quilting fabric, which is usually 44 inches wide. I know I go from centimeters to meters, but that's how it works here in Australia. So the backing fabric, I used this beautiful hydrangea in this girl's quilt, but the backing is usually 44 inches wide, and it is just perfect, the perfect size for these small quilts that I make. So I don't have to have a seam in the back or anything. It's just, you know, just all one piece, and I love it. So I think it's very handy if we're making a small quilt, and anyone can do this, honestly, friends. You just cut out the size that you like in rectangles. I chose for the girls' quilt 4.5 inches by 10.5 inches, just to have a nice piece of each fabric. You know, and I think it's a lovely size. It's quick to make. You only need 50 pieces. And yeah, I think the blue will be, you know, for either very young, very old, in the middle. It's just a lovely, lovely colorway. And gardens are always beautiful, so I'll get on with attaching my binding, which I'm doing now, and then 2 of them will be ready to be machine quilted. I'm sewing it on my trusty little Bernette Seville. I've had it for ages and I love it. It's a little black sewing machine. It only sews straight and zigzag, but that's all you need. And I only use black Gutermann's cotton or white Gutermann's cotton for top and bobbin. So that's how it's done here. And so I'll get on with now attaching this. This is the next stage of attaching the binding, and I thought this might be interesting also. So you see I put the binding on first before I quilt. So I've sewn the binding down on the front edge, and I used, to begin with, I stitched around the whole quilt with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and then when I put the binding on, I go in another 1/8 of an inch or so that it's the next setting on my machine, which has 2 settings. So I'll show you. The needle has, this is the setting for that I've got it on now. When I turn the knob, it goes to there. So this is the, it's a bit dusty. This is the setting for just sewing around the edge, and this is the setting for attaching the binding. So now that I've got the binding attached on the front, I'm going to turn it over and take the edge. One moment. I wanted to get the needle put in where I want to start sewing. I've only got my 2 hands that are free, and the tripod is a bit hard to set up when I'm just sewing here at my table with minimum equipment. So now that I'm up to sewing the binding over, so you see the first seam and then this one for the binding. So I'll fold the binding over so that it covers the stitching, the last row of stitching, and that will make sure that it sews in the gutter on the other side. So that's how I am doing this. I'm sorry that I can't have the camera set up for each step. I just have to hold it, but hopefully my hand's not too wobbly. And now I will continue, and I'll go right round the quilt, sewing the binding on. It's just a garden of flowers here. I have to make a few baby quilts, and today I have to make some boys' quilts. I've run out of quilted quilts ready to go, so John's cutting out the rectangles for me. I'm going to have quilts made with a 4.5 by 8.5 inch rectangles from these novelty prints that I've got in my collection, especially for baby quilts. I think the small prints are so fab. I especially love little aeroplanes and little trains. They're so cute. So yeah, really good to get a move on with these. I'm hoping to get them machine quilted. I'll probably machine quilt them hopefully on Judith's Sweet 16 this week. So I need to get a move on if I want to do it on Friday. We'll see how we go though. Some other fabrics that I've got lined up for the baby quilts. Ships and lighthouses. Phone rang. Yeah, more fabric. So I only have small pieces. I only buy small pieces, or Judith gives me some small pieces, which is really nice. And max would be 1/2 meter, I would say. Some I have bigger pieces for backing, like the pirates and the terrapins. Space fabric is always handy and beautiful. I love space too. And little houses, and that is lovely too. And then we need some tonals. So blue, this is for a baby girl's quilt, and this is particularly lovely. And a few more, but yeah, hoping to get all the rectangles cut out today anyway, so that'll be good. It's the stage where I'm cutting out the batting. I have a 15 meter, I think it's 15 meter, it's 1/2 a bolt of batting. I get it on sale from Spotlight, which is like Joann's, I would imagine. And so it's in 4 layers, so it's pretty wide. It makes a queen size quilt, but with the 4 layers I should get 2.5 quilts, baby size quilts, out of this one cut. So I'm going to cut along here, re-roll my batting, cut it to size, and I've already got the back ready. The back that I've already used for my previous quilt, which is a Tula satinine back. Should wash well. And that's what I'm going to do today. So this is a pinning up quilt today, hopefully. Feeling a bit strange, but we'll press on. I love my Matilda's own scissors, by the way. They are spring-loaded. I just love them. I think I've got 3 pairs. Judith bought me a pair. I bought a pair, then I went to the quilt show a few years back and bought another pair because I just love them. But anyway, this is where we are up to today. This is my batting. And we can see it's a nice thin batting. It's about 1/8 of an inch thick, I would say. It's a wool, polywool mix, and it's excellent for work quilts, so quilts that are going to be used and washed in the dryer, so on. But I love it. It hasn't got what it's written on. It hasn't, sorry, it's not written what the contents of the batting is, but this is my favourite. One of my favourites, I must say. I've got a few. But yeah, I love this beautiful batting. It feels like flannel, and it has two sides to it, so one side is fluffy and one side is like this. So, this is the most important part as far as I'm concerned with quilt making, friends. Make sure everything is flat. Otherwise we get puckers on the back, and we don't want puckers. So make sure everything is ironed and flat. My tip. Okay, so the top and the batting are flat. I think I'm going to re-iron the back fabric. The camera's on a tripod. So the back didn't need ironing, and I can press on now. So this is my toolbox of pinning up equipment. I love it. That's all my pins that I have left that are not in use at the moment. I have got a container, I would say, would be full of pins when they're not in use, but that is very rare. So now I'm going to pin up, and I'll put a pin right around the edge. Where can we see? I'll put a pin right around the edge anyway, and then I'll sew around the edge. It's a very thin quilt, easy to quilt. I'll put a pin in the center, of each rectangle as we go, and it will take me a good part of half an hour, I would say, to pin this quilt on. So these also are my favourite pins. They're curved. They're not expensive, so I have a lot. Also have a nifty pair. I collect scissors. Nifty scissors like this. They're my birds. They shouldn't have been in with the pins. They must have flown in there when I wasn't looking. There's work going on in my kitchen. Hopefully it's not too loud. And this is, so you see how the pin can go all the way through the three fabrics, 3 layers, and hit my green mat. Stops it scratching the table, and because it's a curved pin, when I put it in, I love them, and my fingers have got arthritis in them, so these pins are the best, but when I put them in, they rock, so it makes doing them up very easy. Coming to the end of my pinning up. I'm really happy with how it's going. Pins are great. I'll have a look on the back when I've got all the pins in. I think I must have used about 500 pins today with this 1 meter by 20 centimeter square quilt. Really happy with the progress, and it's amazing what you can do in a small space. I have the quilt folded over like this. I just didn't want to go down the back of the table because My friend is under the table and she likes to help. But luckily she doesn't climb on the quilt or anything when I'm busy. She just sits on the side and supervises, helps, just there. I think she just likes being, you know, close. She's a friendly little thing, but an introvert. So she's under the table and this is the top. I've got it all pinned up. It only took about 20 minutes, I'd say, fast today. Looking at the back, no wrinkles, crinkles, everything is pinned up, no big, oh, that's the floor. No big folds. So happy. Ready to go to the next step now, and that is sewing around the edge. Gonna take all the pins out, sew around the edge as I go, and I may not do that today. I might leave it till later today or maybe tomorrow. I want to get it done soon. I've just stitched on the binding. It wasn't as big a job as I thought. It's all done. So happy to have this done. Looks lovely. I chose self-striping binding. So it was vertical, no, not vertical stripes, was it? Yes, vertical stripes, and then we just cut it on the bias. So it looks great on a child's quilt. It looks great on anyone's quilt, I think. But yeah. Now for the quilting. Halfway there. I'm on my way to Judith's this morning. It's the 1st of May and I'm going to Machine Quilt the small baby quilts that I've been making. So hopefully I will be home in a couple of hours with 2 small quilted quilts if I don't trip over. It's a lovely day here. It's nice and sunny. Very busy Bondi Road. So this is the quilting machine. Judith is just setting everything up, ready to go. Okay, I think I'm gonna rethread over here. Cause okay. Alright. Goes through those, and then through there, and then there, and then I've got to put it through the tension control knob so that it catches. Up. Threading the machine. The hole, down. Through the hole there. And then I should really turn off the machine to thread it through the needle. Kind of quite near that stage. Okay, drop of oil. Don't want to put too much. And that's my needle up down, which can be set to a to either and I'll grab a bit of, I really need to make a new one of these. They're all a bit chocker. Where can I find a bit that's empty enough to test to stitch on? This'll do.
So, okay, I just always like to check that, yeah, I cleared the last quilt. And now the needle up, down again. I keep it in the down position for preference. I see that there's some fluff coming through. Okay, hold on to my threads and grab the foot thing. So it's been a while since I quilted. Haven't done anything since Pesach actually. I like to do something curvy. Okay, and now up to go that way. Yeah.
Okay, so now Judith
ready
has
to start a quilt.
Okay, I'm just going to get you to start mine off so that I can get a video of it.
Okay. Did you want any particular?
Yeah, if you just write the date down there would be great, and then just start off with some squirrely things.
The swirls like that. Okay, Barbara. And I think I'll just. How's this size, Barbara?
Perfect.
Now I'll just stop there and cut my thread before I come round to it again. And
Judith's just writing the date on it before we start quilting.
Hebrew day.
Judith has a nice steady hand and writes lovely.
Okay. And okay, I just want to mark it in between.
Yep.
So I'm just going to put in a little. Full there, so it may want to stick as I'm kind of
So this is lovely free motion quilting. Keeps all the layers together nicely, and I think it's the perfect way to quilt a utility quilt that will be washed and loved. So beautiful. Okay, I'm ready to quilt now. I have to remember to take the pins out as I go. Well, I finished quilting this one. I'm really happy. No folds or weird things happening. My quilting could be a bit smoother, especially with circles, but you know, I think it's lovely. I love the machine. I love my friend. We're all good.
10,886 stitches.
Wow.
Okay, I'll just reset it.
And now I'm going to start on the girls' quilt. Should be fun. Beautiful bobbins.
Yeah. I don't know what colour you want to go with. None of the colours that I would pick is full, unless this one.
Yeah, that is
that one.
That's lovely.
That one works.
Yeah. Go with that one.
It's not quite full, but it's
Hopefully
got a
I'll
good
get there.
chance
Yeah.
of being able to. And if not, we can just fill it in with the last bit with a bit of grey.
Yeah.
Probably that grey.
Yeah. Great.
Yes. We need to wind some more bobbins. So right now, just process again.
Judith's little wardrobe of tools.
Yeah, these are from my sewing machine. I'm just gonna again clean and
Judith dusts the bobbin after every quilt just to make sure there's no dust there. Keep the machine running smoothly.
You see,
quite
a bit of dust.
Yeah.
From one quilt sometimes, and every so often I take the plate off and dust under there.
Judith's really good with the machines too. She's technical and reads the instruction books and everything. She's really good at it.
I never remember things that I don't do very often. I don't remember from one time to the next, so I have to look it up again, like rethreading in my serger. Grab another one of these. Let's see if I can find something with a bit of space.
This is the tension.
Yeah. Even if you're changing to the exact same threads, always have to check your tension before you start. So let's see.
Judith says it's a bit loose, so she's just going to do a few adjustments and try her again.
Okay.
So that it's perfect.
Looking for somewhere else to.
The tension mat is getting really full.
Yes, it is rather. But
so pretty though. How's that look?
Better, but I think I still want it a smidgen tighter. So let's go over there and fill this bit in. Oh, hang on, I think I forgot to. Did I actually? Don't actually remember if I changed it or not. I think I didn't. So yep, it's this bit here. I think it's okay.
Yep, looks good. Ready to go.
And I'll just cut off my threads so I don't get tangled in them next time I'm.
Yeah.
Same thing again?
Yeah, same thing.
Okay. So down, up, pull it through into a comfortable position.
Beautiful.
Okay, that bit comes all the way down to there.
All quilted. So my 2 quilts are quilted today, and look at the beautiful little bees Judith has quilted in. It's so fab. I love it. It's a garden quilt. This is a nifty hack. I've always wanted a sewing machine cover for my sewing machine. It came with a plastic one, a cheap one, and that just wasn't good because it just tore. So I got a shopping bag. It's just an ordinary shopping bag, but it's a very nice, well-made one from the farmer's market. And I just cut a hole in the top for my handle, turned up the edge, and that's all I had to do. And it is a perfect canvas cover for my machine. I love it. And so easy. Recycling. Excellent. That's me signing off for this week, friends. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. If you like this content, I really appreciate it. Yeah, now machine quilting and some scarf making. So thank you again for watching. That's me signing off for this week. Bye, friends. Hi, sweetheart.